Here we go.
What is up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome to another episode of the What the Fanboy Show. My name is Luke. Wait, nope, that's not right.
No shtick this week? We're not able to mess with Luke before the show starts?
This is the ultimate messing with Luke before the show starts. It's just doing his
Doing
spiel.
his intro?
Yeah.
You have to point, because Luke always points.
What's up, fanboys and fangirls?
That's
Welcome to an... Oh, no, I already did that part.
It's okay. We're figuring it out.
Yeah, Luke's out today, this week.
I did not get Luke sick.
Yeah, this isn't like a...
For the record.
Like a circular thing where next week I'll be gone.
Yeah, we'll all be gone next week.
We will. Well, or will we?
Kind of.
We'll
still be here in spirit-ish thing. Yep.
But yeah, I'm Brett. I'm 1/3 of What the Fanboy, and to my left, I don't ever introduce anyone.
And this is super weird because usually I'm like, and this is the beautiful Brett Eitzen. I am Tyler. I'll introduce myself.
Yeah,
Let's
please
make
introduce it. Please introduce it. Yeah, just do it yourself.
I am Tyler. I'm also 1/3 of What the Fanboy. Like we mentioned, Luke's not here this week, so Brett and I are going to try to keep this thing on the rails as best we can, and
it's already off the rails.
It's off the rails, and that's good. There's no alcohol involved in the recording of this podcast.
Sure, that's never the case.
Oh, man.
What's up, Battle Rifle in the chat?
What up, dude?
Luke is sick.
Yeah,
He's not here.
He's not actually sick. He just lost his voice, and it's... Luke, I'm sorry in advance. It's really funny when he talks. I was kind of hoping he'd show up and maybe try to say a few words because it's hilarious, but...
Fun fact, when you try and do, like, a podcast, you kind of need to be able to talk. And
yeah.
So even if you're not sick, but you can't talk, there's just no point.
Yeah. He could have... Yeah. No. There's nothing we could have done. But it's okay.
Completely inevitable.
Yeah. But it's okay. He'll be here for our next show.
And he is here. He is here in spirit. He texted me before the show started.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off our our weekly recap, what we did this week with Luke, because of course we would.
Should we just read his text like verbatim?
I think so.
You want to read it or you want me to?
Sure, I'll read it. This is Luke to us and to you guys. Sorry I wasn't up for it tonight, guys. But would you do it? But you would do me a huge solid if you would say that I saw Dr. Sleep and Parasite. That would be dope. Both are fanboy worthy.
Love it. Is he in the chat?
I don't know. Probably not. He's probably sleeping.
I hope he's sleeping. I need him to get ready.
What's up, Seabull? Welcome to the chat.
Seabull, you'll get a shout out later.
Welcome to the show. Yeah. So Luke was probably the busiest of the three of us,
yeah.
And he's not here to talk about his things. Based on his tweets and what he's texted us, though, sounds like both Dr. Sleep and Parasite really, really good. I keep hearing Parasite as one of those like sleeper best picture winners.
I've seen a lot of people talking about it, and then I've also talked to Luke, and I've talked to a guy I work with. The guy I work with said it could probably win Best Foreign Film.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me. I've also heard some crazy things about it, that it's like one of those movies you don't see coming.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I'm hoping to see it before award season, but we'll see. I'm sure I'll be able to find it somewhere.
But that's what Luke did this week. What did you do this week, Tyler?
I'm typing. No.
Oh, that's.
Hey, your sound's on.
Sorry.
So I'll just quickly go through some things I watched. I watched Watchmen.
Yep.
Be on the lookout for our TV Talk episode coming out later this week on that episode 4.
And sorry for whatever reason, YouTube just was like, we're going to absolutely fail to process your episode 3. So that's out now. There's not much reason to go watch it. I mean, go watch it.
Yeah, go watch it.
Go watch it.
If you want to hear our thoughts and if you just want to see us kind of deep dive into each.
Yeah.
week. It's a good series.
Very excited about episode 4.
Yeah. There's a lot to unpack this week.
They just
I
keep
think.
adding new faces.
Yeah.
And the strings keep getting crazier, and I'm very excited to see where the second half of the season goes.
The whole Ozymandias stuff is just wild. I listened to the podcast on that, and they were talking about how Lindelof tries to use this is a little sneak peek of what we would probably do in one of our episodes. He uses the Ozymandias stuff to kind of act as like an intermission for the episode, and I think that's a really cool, like, stylized way to do that.
Yeah.
Because it is still important, but it's like it's a completely separate story from what's actually happening. So pretty cool. But you'll hear more on that when we record our TV talk episode.
Yeah.
I caught up on Titans this week on DC Universe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And of course Tyler isn't here to talk about it with you.
Yeah.
Or Luke isn't here to talk about it with you.
Yeah, and he hasn't started it yet. I think he said he was going to start it this week. Yeah, because you know how he watches shows.
That's true.
Luke watches shows in a day that I take like a month to watch.
Yeah.
But they were both pretty good. I think season 2 of Titans has taken a step in a very large step in the right direction. I think they are doing a much better job of capturing the essence of what makes the characters in the story great. Albeit, I do think they're having some balancing issues. They have a lot of characters in this season, and I think it's kind of hurt them.
Yeah.
They do a good job of killing off the ones or finding ways to sideline other characters, which I think is good. But when you have to spend time to sideline a character, I think it kind of hurts your show.
Yeah.
In the long term. I mean, there's 3 episodes left, and the whole team hasn't fought the main villain yet. Only one of them has. So it's like we're getting there, and I think pacing has kind of been the issue for Titans, but that'll come up again later. I started a new book. It is called Supernova by Marissa Meyer. It is book 3 of the Renegades story. I read the first 2 books last year. I was a big fan of them. They're like they're superhero stories, but it's like completely unique. Marissa Meyer made up her own group of superheroes in Gatlin City. It's kind of funny, like Gotham City ripoff, but it's been really good so far. I really like where they're going. It's kind of like on this collision course where one character has been undercover this whole time, and now her secret is out, and it's like, oh crap, how's this going to end? So
yeah.
Everybody knows who shouldn't know, and it's on that collision course right now. But it's really good. I'm really enjoying it so far. And then I played some Call of Duty. I was kind of...
Yeah, you did.
I did a decent amount of stuff, but I was also busy because my wedding anniversary is tomorrow.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I was kind of busy this weekend with anniversary stuff, but I did get to play some games. I played a little bit of Call of Duty. I have level capped.
Of course you
in the multiplayer. It was pretty quick. It was only to 55. There's no prestiging.
Okay.
They've now made enlistment ranks, so now you unlock challenges every level past 55. So, like, there's a new challenge every time you hit a level, and you get, like, ribbons and more experience and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun, like, you unlocking new challenges, giving you new things to do, giving you things to work towards. This Call of Duty, I think, does a really good job of that.
Yeah.
Probably a little grindy, but that's okay. You know, that's what keeps it fresh.
That's
though.
what people want these days.
Yeah. People,
the majority of people, at least.
People want to work towards something and know what they're working towards.
Yeah.
And this Call of Duty is like, here's this set of challenges. If you complete it, this is what you get.
Right.
You're not going to get it from a loot box. You're going to get it from completing these challenges. So they're doing a good job, I think. And they've also already put out a couple updates. They released 2 new maps, free. All the DLC's free on this one. So they're doing a good job. There's a lot of complaining about the shotguns and things of that nature, but they're moving in the right direction. They've already nerfed it once. They're probably going to nerf it again. It's so weird with nerfing, and this could be a whole episode in my opinion, but like nerfing guns on games, like because a gun is really good, it's really frustrating because people are like, it's too good, it needs to be nerfed into the ground. Like, no, it still needs to be effective because it's a good gun, but you have to find that balance, and I think that's where they're at right now, is trying to find balance on some of the weapons. But all in all, Call of Duty has been a really good experience from the campaign to the multiplayer. I've really enjoyed. So
that's awesome.
But then I played something that came out a while back on Madden 20. They put this thing called Superstar KO in. It's in beta right now. Essentially what you do is you choose a base team out of like 8 to 10 teams, and they're like completely made up. So like Patrick Mahomes is a coach for one, Lil Yachty is a coach for one, DJ Khaled is a coach for one. It's really strange. And they have like these really like flamboyant uniforms, and essentially what it is you each get a drive, you score a touchdown, you go for 2, there's no kicking, no punting, any of that. And if you both score, you go into a mode called Tug of War, where you each get 3 plays to see who can get closer to the other person's goal line.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, if I gain 10 yards, they start from that 10 yards back, and they have to try to push. So it's whoever either scores a touchdown or gets the most field position.
Right.
So that's kind of how the game works. But you pick your base team, and then you get to draft. The first round, you draft 3 players. And so it's like it's completely random, but they're really good. So, like, you get round 1, it'll be like pick offense, and it'll put like last night I got John Elway as one of my guys. I've gotten Aaron Rodgers. I've gotten DeAndre Hopkins. Like, you get all these players, and you get to pick 3. So there's like legends, there's superstars, all that stuff, and they all have like abilities. So like Aaron Rodgers' ability was if you throw the ball to an AI defender, he can't pick it off no matter what. So like all of them have like superpowers essentially.
Yeah.
And you play, it's all online, so it's multiplayer. You play against people, and every time you win a match, you move on and you get to draft another player. So eventually you can just load your team out with superstars, but you only play people who have also won their previous match. And so last night I won. I've used every team now, but last night I won. You have to win 5 games in a row to win the event, and I won it last night. It was super cool. But it's a really cool mode. I'm curious to see what they add to it. It's nice to see Madden and EA trying to do something different. You know, this isn't something they've always done, so it was really fun. I look forward to playing more of it while I wait for some other games to come out. It was a nice kind of break from Call of Duty because I've been going pretty hard on that. So
Yeah.
But no, it was really cool. I can't wait to see when they add more teams. Like they have like Snoop Dogg is probably going to get a team. And,
of course.
Yeah, naturally. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. But that is it for me this week. I didn't have much else going on.
Cool. I didn't have a lot going on either.
You were traveling.
We went down to Dallas. That is something, though. I got to go to my first Dave & Buster's.
Nice.
Which I guess like I can talk about that because it's kind of gamey.
I saw your tweet.
So I got to check out the Halo Fireteam Raven arcade game. That was something that when I heard about it, it's been out probably 2 years now. I was like, that is the dumbest thing. Why would you put money into making something like that? That thing is super fun. That is, I played with Stephanie, but it's 4 players. So we had like 2 just random other people who were playing kind of next to us. And I mean, it's all one game. And it dynamically adjusts whether there are extra players or not. So like, basically there's 2 big widescreen TVs right next to each other, and it kind of just duplicates. It's one environment, but it kind of duplicates what each pair has to fight against. You can like swing all the way over and fight the things on the TV that's not your TV.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like when there's 4 players, like, I got rid of my elite really fast. I can go help them with theirs because they're struggling. But when there's only 2 players, you don't even have to worry about the enemies on the other screen.
That's
you just
cool.
have to worry about your own screen. We probably spent 15 minutes on it. We got through 2 levels.
Nice.
They've got like a campaign mode, and then you can just go in and like
shoot stuff.
Pick individual levels, basically. And then just, like one card gets you a life, and then you go until you run out, and then you pay more credits or whatever. But yeah. Like, really well built. Build quality is really good. Graphic fidelity feels AAA.
Yeah.
It's fun to, like, get to use all the different little weapons.
Yeah. Did they have a needler?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, needler, use a plasma pistol, plasma... I think they pretty much do all of the classic, like, Halo 1. The game is set on the original Halo.
Okay.
So it's, like, all Halo 1 style weapons and environments and stuff.
And you're
like
a Spartan, I assume.
I think so. I think you're like a Spartan 3.
Okay.
Which I don't know canonically how that makes any sense. And
But it does.
You might not be a Spartan. I don't really remember any of the cutscenes where you see your own characters. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And Dave & Buster's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Dave & Buster's is cool. Do they have, what kind of gun is it that you play with?
Yeah, so it just looks like a mounted turret, basically.
Oh, okay. So you hold it with 2 hands.
So hold it with 2 hands. You have 2 triggers.
Okay.
You don't have to pull both triggers, but then they have like a big they have reload buttons as well, and then a big like middle button for like if you want to throw a grenade or something like that. Cool. So they do kind of offer you. It's not just the pull the trigger.
Yeah. I didn't know. I don't know if they have that game at the Dave & Buster's they just opened here in Wichita, but I'll have to look for it.
If they do, we're totally gonna like get a couple more people, and Luke can join us, and then we just need one more person.
Yeah, and we'll just run through it.
And we'll play that whole thing.
DD, we're looking at you.
Angel, Luke, welcome to the chat. Luke is out sick today, sadly, or less sick, more just doesn't have a voice.
Yeah, it's weird. Mom, I do feel better. Z-Packs are awesome.
Hooray for medicine.
Woo!
The other thing I did this week was watch the first episode of His Dark Materials on HBO. I thought it was I watched it with Stephanie. It's kind of going to be our new weekly show that we watch together. I thought it was a little slow for an HBO pilot. I think you kind of expect a little more epicness.
Yeah.
And they just did a lot of exposition, which I kind of get. It's kind of necessary. I'll stick with it just because I think the subject matter is fascinating.
Yeah, the trailers and stuff for it look really good. I haven't watched it. I don't know that Dana's interested in it.
Yeah.
It's a Monday night show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably be on right after we're done or something like that. But, and then the other thing I started was surprise Netflix dropped She-Ra season 4, I think. I can't even keep track anymore.
Dude, the surprise dropping thing is becoming so popular.
I don't hate it. I also like to plan things. Because I watch so much, I like to plan things. And so it was a little bit like, I didn't have time to binge through the whole thing. I've gotten through like 3 episodes.
Yeah. Nothing hurts more than like planning, like for you play Destiny, like planning to raid and then like a show you're a huge fan of gets surprise dropped on you and you're like,
yeah.
Guys, I'm going to bail on the raid. See you next week.
Don't mind me.
Yeah.
Angel says he's watched the second episode of His Dark Materials and it was good. So I'm hoping so. I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
He's from the future.
I wish I was from the future. But I think that wraps up our... Oh, there was one more thing we both did.
We did. That's right. We both,
plus Luke, watched Star Wars The Force Awakens.
We did.
If you haven't checked out our movie commentary for the month, that is
the one.
That's out now on SoundCloud, iTunes, the podcast stuff, and YouTube as well. It's up on YouTube.
This one didn't get flagged?
It hasn't gotten flagged yet, so I guess we'll see.
We fixed the audio. Yeah, and so... You'll kind of hear us announce it during the commentary if you watch it, but I've joined a boxing gym. I'm ready for our Last Jedi commentary for December to fight Brett because he loves that movie and I don't love that movie.
That's why he had to get better.
Yeah.
He's like, I need the Z-Pack because I can't fight Brett if I'm sick.
I can't fight Brett if I can't breathe. It's kind of an important thing. So, no, I'm looking forward to the Last Jedi commentary because I've not watched that movie since we were in theaters.
Yeah,
so
I'm excited too. I'm going to come into it, and I'm not here to fight you.
I'm here to fight you.
I'm here to have a very, very rational discussion about
I think I might watch it again before we record that.
I think you should.
And I'll probably make notes and be like, this is stupid, this is stupid, this is stupid. I like this, though.
Let's have, like, a note comparison, and then after we post the episode, we can, like, share our notes.
We could. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
But yeah, go check that out.
Yep.
We aka Brett worked really hard on those, so.
I hit record.
Yeah, he works hard on them.
My internet works hard uploading those big files.
Yeah. Good thing you pay for the good stuff.
That's right. Should we jump into some news?
Let's talk news because there are some things I'm really excited about this week.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a slow news week, and then I started to look, and I was like, it's actually a pretty busy week.
It wasn't. There weren't those like huge stories, but when you think about what kind of some of the stories are, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, there's some good stuff.
This is an interesting week.
Yeah, it's a busy week for media in general.
Mm-hmm.
What'd we get? We got at least 3 trailers. There's definitely more than 3, but 3 trailers that I have.
The ones that we saw that we cared about.
Yeah.
Which, do we want to run through those?
Yeah. So the first trailer that came out was Invisible Man.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was Universal lost it. Universal had it. Yeah, Universal lost the Dark Universe rights to Blumhouse because The Mummy sucked, apparently. I still have not seen it.
Because they made a bad movie.
Yeah, and it bombed. So Blumhouse put out their trailer for Invisible Man, starring, I don't know his name, but he's from The Haunting of Hill House, and he's a really good actor.
He's invisible.
Yeah. Yeah, he's invisible.
Well, for a part of it.
Yeah. I thought this trailer looked good.
Yeah.
I was kind of talking with Luke about it last night. I went to dinner with Luke last night, and like I said, I really wish he'd be here so you guys could hear his voice. It's fantastic. But I kind of think I've reached a point where we've seen enough like Blumhouse movies to like know when you see a trailer, you're like, yeah, that's a Blumhouse movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't want that to carry a negative connotation because I do like Blumhouse movies.
Yeah.
But you can just tell now, and maybe it's the frequency at which they're starting to come out because they're so big.
Yep.
But this looks like a high quality Blumhouse film to me.
Yeah.
And I will definitely go see it. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. I really hope that they can take this Dark Universe idea and make something special.
Yeah.
Because it's a cool concept.
It's always interesting to me. This is less to do about the movie, just more about the studios. We've kind of Hollywood has like the big 3 studios. And then it's always interesting to see kind of those smaller studios who, makes it in, and then they're around for a few years, and then they kind of get dropped off for either poor performances or something like with the Weinstein Company, and just and that needed to be shut down because of
what was going on. Yeah.
It's cool to see Blumhouse. I feel like they're really hitting their stride.
Yeah, and they've got some staying power. It's been 3 or 4 years now, and they're never going to be the juggernaut that Warner Brothers and Disney are, but they can be a good studio that puts out quality movies for low budgets, and they give people a chance. Like, that's what I think I like about them so much. Like Jordan Peele, he works with them. So, no, I thought this trailer looked good. I'm looking forward to that one. The next trailer that came out was Disney Pixar Soul, right? It's a Disney Pixar. So I watched this trailer about 10 minutes before this episode started, and this movie is gonna wreck me.
Yes. It's had some very strong Inside Out vibes with that, like, I think they say, like, from the makers of Inside Out and Up
and Coco,
like, those are 3 perfect movies, I think, to describe what this movie is trying to hit.
Yeah, and like with Coco, it's got the musical influence, and Inside Out, it's got like that inner purpose kind of thing going on. Like, obviously it's different than Emotions, but the inner purpose thing. And then for Up, it has like a very like adult theme that applies and will be understandable for kids. This this movie is gonna break my heart in the best way possible, and I really can't wait to watch it. And just the music in it sounds so good. Yeah. So, and then there's another trailer, and
your most excited trailer this
I'm
week.
So excited for this movie. So, little backstory: Scooby-Doo is like one of my favorite cartoons ever. I love Scooby-Doo. When HBO Max drops and Scooby-Doo is on there, I'm gonna go ham. Oh, man, I love Scooby. But they released a trailer for their new, I guess, reboot kind of thing called Scoob. I saw a lot of people hating on this.
I don't know why.
I think it looks awesome.
This looks great.
I think it looks really good. Visually, it looks good. I think the voice cast is good. I mean, obviously, I can't think of the guy's name right now, but the guy who voices Scooby-Doo, obviously is a little bit older, and you can tell.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know how hard it would be to find somebody who can Scooby-Doo it up
Yeah.
for a feature-length film? But no, I think it'll be good. It looks awesome. It looks funny. It looks like when he hands Scooby the collar, I was like,
emotions.
man, they're gonna make me cry watching Scooby-Doo, and I love Scooby-Doo. But no, I'm really excited for this one. Zac Efron as Fred is perfect in my opinion.
Great casting. All of the cast sounds good.
Yeah, I think they all sound good. Amanda Seyfried is Daphne.
Mm-hmm.
Gina Rodriguez is Velma. And then I don't know who Shaggy is. I can't think of who it was. I saw it earlier. I should have wrote it down. But no, I think this looks good. I'll go see it.
It's got that soul. I think it'll be a pretty easy moneymaker for Warner Brothers. It's a summer movie. Scooby-Doo's a well-known property. I can't imagine this going south.
Oh, Will Forte.
Shaggy.
So
Will Forte's great.
I don't imagine. I'm with you. I don't think it'll do poorly. And Warner Animation has continually gotten better.
Yeah. They continue
the
to
last
improve.
few years. They've done a good job, and so I think this is just another step in the right direction for them.
Agreed.
Especially having to compete with Disney.
Yeah. There's one more trailer that I knew you wouldn't mention, but I'm gonna throw out there.
Yeah, I didn't watch this one, but I listened to it.
Yeah.
And it sounded really good.
It's called Wendy. It's the follow-up film from Ben Zeltin. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I apologize. He did the From the Southern Beasts of the Southern Wild, and it's kind of got that same like live action. It's a live action reimagining of Peter Pan, more from Wendy's perspective, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Fox Searchlight, so it's going to be a smaller budget, kind of that they're hitting on that emotion, and I'm all about those kind
I'll
of
watch
movies.
that.
It's a late February release, so
good. It's a good time for those kind of movies.
Yeah.
I also really like that Fox Searchlight is kind of getting, with the acquisition of Fox by Disney, Fox Searchlight was kind of like the one that everybody's like, what's going to happen?
Please keep them around.
And,
Please keep them around.
And they're
looks like they
Disney's
are.
kind of like doubling down on it. It looks like they're kind of. I've heard more about Fox Searchlight in the last 3 months than I have in a long time. So that's good. I'm excited for it. I haven't watched the trailer, but I like Peter Pan. So
agreed.
I'm in.
We've already only, what is it, of the 11th? 11 days after Apple TV Plus came out.
Oh, jeez.
We've had some executives in the, like, on the level of executives, not Apple proper,
right,
but the Apple TV executives. They're doing some shifting around there. I think that's a pretty clear sign that
they aren't happy with their launch.
It's not doing great. Doesn't surprise me based on what I've seen, or what I've not seen.
That C show is getting a season 2.
Did it get announced for season 2?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Good for them.
I guess Momoa is still raking in off that Aquaman cash.
I am excited to see. I hear that the For All Mankind's pretty good.
Yeah, I saw it. So I hadn't seen a trailer for that until the other day, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This looks awesome.
That looks pretty good. I love the like alternate history type of shows.
Man in the High Castle type stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Man in the High Castle just got announced
for another season.
For a final season.
Oh, cool.
It's coming.
That sucks.
So. No, it's all good things come to an end.
Yeah. As long as they're ending it on their terms.
Right. Angel says 4 shows that they released are getting to a season 2. That's good. I think that Apple has the cash that if they know they've got something good and it was just their launch is poorly marketed, they can take that hit.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and then the M. Night Shyamalan show I think looks interesting.
Yeah, every trailer I see for it, it's like a baby.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's shot on like a phone or something. Just like the way the camera is on all the shots, it just looks odd.
Odd.
Yeah, but like in a good way. Does that make sense? Like it's interesting. It intrigues me. I'll watch it if I get a chance because it's probably gonna be creepy. And Rupert Grint's in it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for Rupert. Yeah, I saw a headline. It was like, Rupert Grint's finally making his comeback.
Yeah,
From,
it's like, yes.
it's like, okay, good.
Woo!
He's a good actor. He's just only had to play one role for 10 years, and then he's set for life. So
yeah.
And you just kind of take the jobs you want.
Like Tom Felton.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Speaking of streaming service shows, well, a show, Titans on DC Universe got renewed for a season 3 today.
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought for sure, and this is in no way reflects my opinion of the show, but I thought for sure this was it.
Yeah.
Like they brought in Deathstroke. Like I was like, okay, like they know that they're not getting a season 3. They're pulling out the big guns.
Yeah.
And then today, DC Universe sends me a notification. Hey, we know you love it, so here comes season 3 in fall 2020. And I was like, okay, I'm in. And like there were some rumors earlier in the week kind of floating around that they were going to renew it, but they confirmed it today. So yeah, Titan season 3 is happening. So now I'm ready to wait for a year.
So earlier in the summer or early fall, Critical Role had a crowdfunding project to make an animated show that blew up. It was huge. So rather than just making one season, they're making 2 seasons, and it's coming out on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I saw this, and I was like, man, it would be crazy if we started a podcast and made an animated show and it just kind of took off.
Right?
Like that's like hitting gold.
Yeah.
As a podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's really cool. Amazon picking up an animated show is also exciting.
Yeah, it's a good grab because I think they know that there's a really dedicated fan base there. Mm-hmm. Amazon's got a ton of competition. I think they kind of slide under the radar for most people anyways. Mm-hmm. But if they can get people kind of really looking at their service, I don't know if because Man in the High Castle's ending. I don't know what their big heavy hitter is going to be until Lord of the Rings in like 2022 or 2023.
I could tell you what it could be.
Tell me what it could be.
The Boys.
Well, The Boys. Okay, yeah, you're right.
The Boys. Season 2 wrapped production this week. Yeah.
Segue.
And Jack Quaid says you are not ready for season 2, is according to him.
Awesome.
No, I think Amazon is doing a great job of bringing in new content. I do think that the animated market is going to be cornered starting tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I think Disney will dominate that animated market. But no, that's what I was saying, though, with the Critical Role animated show coming to Amazon. I hope that they can get more of that. Because I don't know that they have a ton of animated stuff on Amazon Prime, do they?
I don't spend a lot of time browsing, so right. I'm not 100% sure.
When I had it for a little bit, I didn't see much on there. I mean, I'm sure they have a lot, but not to the extent of Netflix, Hulu.
Right.
What?
Warner Brothers.
Right. Yo, HBO Max has like everything on it. But no, speaking of that too, Disney Plus enters the game tomorrow.
Yep.
November 12th. And the streaming wars only get crazier.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what Disney Plus has to offer. I mean, we obviously know, but to get in there and actually see the interface and to watch things and see how the playback runs. And
yeah.
No, it's exciting. And you get the cool bundle of Hulu, ESPN Plus, Disney.
I'm very excited to be able to, like, drop regular Hulu and get... I mean, it's still Hulu, but... Just the fact that
it's bundled.
It's bundled, that it's a little cheaper, and in the chat I do want to call out Angel and Siebel are saying that they've. Angel says they had The Boys, absolutely. Marvelous Miss Maisel, which I have still got to watch.
That's true. That's another good one.
Still got to watch.
Fleabag.
Fleabag Undone, which he says is the only original animated series that he's aware of.
Okay.
I haven't seen Undone. And then Siebel throws out The Expanse.
The Expanse is a big... That was
a great grab by them.
Yeah, that's another good acquisition. See, and that's what I think Amazon does such a good job of.
Mm-hmm.
They buy properties that are already kind of established.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, we're going to keep it going. And everybody's like, yes, we're coming back. And so, like, they do a good job of capturing audiences from other groups, which we don't get. It's kind of like this whole streaming thing with gaming streamers, like Mixer's buying people and YouTube's buying people. Amazon's like, yeah, we'll buy the established people too. Like,
yeah.
Good for them.
I've got one more.
I have 3 more stories.
Well, you do. There are 2 that you know. Mine isn't.
Okay, so I just wanted to mention a few things coming out this week.
Yep.
That I think should be touched on. The Peanut Butter Falcon comes out tomorrow, November 12th, on Blu-ray and DVD. If you have not seen that movie, I highly recommend picking it up and watching it because you'll love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fantastic movie. It's my personal number 1 movie of the year. I will be buying it right after work tomorrow, and I will be watching it tomorrow night.
I need to go grab that.
It's so good. I love that movie. The other thing, this Friday is a pretty big release game release day.
Yep.
Pokemon Sword and Shield are coming out for the Nintendo Switch. If that's your cup of tea, it's mine. I'm really excited about it. And then Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order comes out Friday as well.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
I saw the pre-order bonus for Jedi Fallen Order, and it made me go, man, that game's going to have a lot more in it than I realized.
Yeah.
It's like you get custom lightsaber colors and stuff, and I was like, and you get hilts. You can change your hilts on your lightsaber, so you're going to be able to build your own lightsaber in that game. That's what that tells me.
I've already decided I'm going to Disney World to spend $200 to build my own lightsaber. So why not be able to do it in the game?
Okay.
Sounds awesome.
What's your other story? Because I have one left after those 2.
The Batman.
Let's hear it. Let's talk about those.
So this week we got 2 casting rumors for the Batman, neither of which are confirmed at this point.
Yeah.
Correct.
There has not been a Matt Reeves GIF bomb yet.
Yeah.
So
Matt Reeves does do the best Twitter announcements.
Yeah. I love that he announces all his castings with a GIF. Yeah. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. So probably the less well-known one is Andy Serkis, rumored to play Alfred.
I am so down for that.
I think it's the of the 2 that we've talked about, or that we're going to talk about. That's the more interesting choice. I think Andy Serkis is really talented. I am excited as well. I'm also, like, what I've seen from Andy Serkis is typically a little more of the crazy side of things. So you either cast him because of that, or you cast him because he's a good actor and we just haven't seen that much of his other work.
Did you watch Gotham at all?
Yeah, like the first season.
So they went with, like, the military Alfred. There's a little more, like, gruff and kind of abrasive. I could see them doing that with Pattinson playing a younger Bruce Wayne. Like, Serkis's Alfred being like, dude, get it together. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, I could see him playing that. But I could also see him as a good actor, just being the Alfred we all know and love.
Yeah.
And I'd be okay with either of those.
Agreed.
But the other casting one is the one I'm a little bit more intrigued by.
Yes. Colin Farrell as Penguin.
Yeah.
This was the one that was like, this is a lock for Jonah Hill, and then we're like, Jonah Hill wants way too much money for this role. Who are they gonna get could be better than Jonah Hill? And honestly, I think this is, depending on the style of the Penguin, I think this is a really good choice.
Yeah, so Colin Farrell, to me, he's just a really solid actor.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know what his on-set antics are, but I just imagine he's one of those guys who's just laser focused on getting the job right.
Yeah.
I thought he was so good in Fantastic Beasts, and I think maybe that was what started the relationship with him and Warner Bros. Maybe.
Sure.
But I trust Matt Reeves and his casting
Mm-hmm.
based on the Planet of the Apes movies that he did.
Yeah.
Like, he casted those so well. And so I think Farrell's a good choice for most any villain role in that movie. But him playing Penguin, everybody's like, oh, he's got to gain weight. Well, no, he doesn't.
No, yeah.
The
Penguin does not have to be round.
Yeah, he does not need to be Danny DeVito. Like, I know a lot of people kind of make that joke, but
I kind of hope he's not.
Yeah, like, Penguin has to be a gun runner mobster type guy.
Yeah, and he can pull that off.
Yeah, he'll kill it.
Yeah.
I have no concerns about it. He may look a little funny because it's just hard to look past Colin Farrell playing the Penguin, but
hey, we're all about our like attractive bad guys these days, and
that's like the way to go now. But speaking of bad guys,
ooh,
that leads into the Batman. That leans into my final news story. If you don't have anything left,
nope, go for it.
This is the most shocking news story of the week, in my opinion. And not because I'm shocked that it made this amount of money, but I'm shocked that it has this title now. The Joker is now the most profitable comic book adaptation ever made. That is a wild thing to think about.
That is crazy.
Because I remember when this was
Joker
announced.
2, 3, 4, here we come.
Yeah, seriously. I remember like when this was announced, we were all like, I mean, I'll watch it, but do we really need this? And then like, it's gonna make $1 billion.
Yeah,
it's like 20 million away.
I severely underestimated how well it would do the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's insane. And so, yeah, and just to clarify, most profitable does not mean make the most money.
Right.
It means make the most money relative to your budget.
Budget, and are they taking into? I'm sure they are, but are they taking into consideration marketing as well?
So yes, I believe so, because the budget for the movie was $55 million, and that's straight from the horse's mouth, Todd Phillips.
Yeah.
When I read the article, says $62 million.
That sounds about right.
They didn't spend a ton on marketing.
I was gonna say typically marketing would have put that closer to 75 or 80, but if they didn't spend that much on marketing,
I mean, you think about the marketing for it, there wasn't much. There was a couple TV spots and some trailers.
It was mostly TV spots.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't the blitz of we're going to show this on Monday Night Football and we're like with The Mandalorian, what they've been doing with that. It's not like that we're going to have partnerships at all the McDonald's and stuff for action figures. Like that's all considered marketing.
We're not going to do a skin thing for Fortnite or you know what I mean? Like they didn't go that route, and so they kept it small. And I think they're reaping the benefits of that.
I think it's well deserved. It's one of my favorite movies of the year.
Oh yeah.
Hats off to them.
Yeah.
That's great. And honestly, Warner Brothers is not in. I mean, in reality, Paramount needs or Universal needs this more than them, more than Warner Brothers. But Warner Brothers needs to win in a year where Disney's gonna have like $6 billion movies
and a streaming service.
Anyone
that's
else,
rake in money.
anyone else who can get a win deserves a win.
Yeah, and yeah,
so,
that is truer words have not been spoken this evening.
Thank you. That is, man, that means a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy to think though that a movie about the Joker, not including any other crazy superhero antics, is the one that did that. That gets that title.
Yep.
But our topic this week is now where we'll move, and our topic this week is also a news story.
I want to shout out Seabull for bringing this to our attention.
Yeah, and this was something that I had heard about, but I didn't think about talking about it. Yeah. I was like, I'll mention it, and then Seabull put that on Twitter and sent it to us, and was like, hey, this might be worth talking about, and I was like, you know what, that probably is something we should talk about, because I do think this is... One, it's crazy, but two, it's kind of just a nice look at video games as a whole as they're viewed worldwide, I guess.
Agreed.
Go ahead and give us some backstory here.
So the story is, and the link that Siebel sent to us is from CNN. So if you want to check it out for yourself, CNN China is imposing a curfew on video games in their country. And this is mostly because of fears of video game addiction.
Which is now
it's a World Health Organization. Yeah. Like, it's a legitimate thing. And so not only is there, like, a legit curfew where after this
hours.
time you can't play it, but there's also limits. So if you burn your 90 minutes.
Yeah, so the article, I have BBC's article pulled up.
Okay.
Gamers under 18 will be banned from playing online between the hours of 2200 and 0800. They will also be restricted to 90 minutes of gaming on weekdays and 3 hours on weekends and holidays.
So this is for minors. Anyone under 18.
They feel like this is damaging children's health. That is their main concern. I guess my biggest questions, and let's just talk about this part first, because there's more. There's other things too. That
there's a whole set of guidelines that the Chinese government apply to all these gaming platforms.
Here's what I'm really curious about. One, how will they measure, or I guess keep an eye on how long people are playing for? With access to VPNs, things of that nature, what will they use to curb the time limits?
My guess is that's a good point, because there are certainly plenty of
there's workarounds,
tech savvy people out there. I think the majority of the population, though, probably doesn't have access to that, and they have their internet.
Their internet's much more
so restricted that they can probably watch that pretty easy. Would be my guess for the majority. Like I said, I think there's definitely people out there who could get around it, but not the majority at this time. Now, whether this cascades into that, like, I've got a knife, so you get a gun, so you're a pistol, and then you get a machine, like. Kind of that war of escalation in terms of how the government combats people who get around the rules. I don't know how that'll work.
Right. It'll be interesting to see, because the other big part of this, and I was going to save this for later, but it's fresh on my mind. The other big part of this is, like, China's a huge market for video games.
It's the world's largest market.
Yeah, like, and so I wonder, we just had Death Stranding release on Friday. A game that is probably going to be very popular in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
I know even Kojima had something to say about that today. I don't know if you heard about that.
I didn't hear it, but yeah, it surprised me.
He was saying how Americans don't like games without guns in them. And, like, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, he's not wrong. But like, that kind of game will do so much better in Europe and in Asia than it will here. And now with these kinds of rules, how does that affect money in the gaming world?
Right.
You know what I mean?
The whole industry.
I mean, it's going to take a hit because China's a huge player. They're a video game player, obviously, but huge player in that market. And there's a lot of creators that come from there, like content creators. How will that affect things? Like, it's going to be interesting to see the long-term effects of this, or if this even sticks long-term.
Yeah.
Maybe they find out they can't regulate this as effectively as they would like. They're also they will. This one, I believe, is more controllable. They will be regulating how much money can be spent per month on video games. And this is a direct attack on microtransactions.
And again, this is
for minors.
I think it is important that we. Oh well, the link. Sorry, I followed the link to the actual guidelines, and it took me to the Chinese website. So now I probably have some sort of virus. And
this says here
China's tracking my.
You got to pull back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it restricts the amount of money minors can transfer to their online accounts. Gamers between 8 and 16 years old can spend $29 a month, while the maximum between 16 and 18 will be $57 a month. if you're really into microtransactions, that's not a lot. I also don't think that's an unreasonable amount. If I had to choose between the lesser of two evils in this, I would pick this one. And I'm not susceptible. I don't spend a lot of money on microtransactions anyways. But I wonder if this also applies to like DLCs.
Right.
If that's the case, like $57 wouldn't even get me like the Shadowkeep big collector's edition, because that runs in at $60. I would have to get the smaller one, and then the next month, I guess,
the rest of it.
I could get the season pass.
And then also, and this is something I think about, does that money roll over if I don't spend?
Probably not.
And so like, I think this could also encourage that spending. Like, I can only spend this much this month, so it'll help me regulate my money. So I'm going to spend it to maximize what I get. Because look, I know it sounds crazy, but there are people who spend thousands of dollars a month on microtransactions and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And so like, if you're telling them they can only spend $57 or $29 a month, they're going to spend it.
Yeah.
And then they're going to spend it again once the monthly starts, because they're going to want that stuff so badly. And I think this also will hurt games like Fortnite, who have shops that cycle through things on a regular basis. So, like, if I really want these skins and I don't buy them, I'm not going to get a chance at them again until way later.
Right.
But then if I buy them and there's one I want later in the month, I can't get it.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, it's a direct attack on that market. I don't want to call it an attack, but it's going to affect that kind of market largely.
Yeah. So would you say that you are on the scale of this is the worst possible thing to I completely support this? Where do you fall in there?
Oh, I want to give a cop-out answer.
Sure.
But I'm not going to.
Good.
My cop-out answer would be I'm not a parent, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, look, we grew up where, like, video games were big, but they weren't like they are now.
They weren't big.
Yeah, like, we grew up in a time where, like, to find us, you find our bike.
Right.
In our neighborhood, and that's where we are. And we're all just hanging out with our friends. And I think the amount of social interaction people, like the face-to-face social interaction in the real world, is invaluable to me. Like, I think that's very important. And I think gaming kind of takes away from some of that, because you can talk to your friend every night.
Right.
We're hanging out playing video games. Like, I did that with my younger brother when he didn't live here.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of value in going out. And so I actually don't hate this. But at the same time, like, I can't imagine living in a place where they're like, you can't play video games from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, as a kid, like, if I'm a parent and my son wants to play or my daughter wants to play games at 10:30 at night, and they don't have school tomorrow, or they have friends over and they want to play Just Dance in the basement, and they can't because it's a rule.
Yeah.
By the government, not by me.
Right.
By the government. Like, I think it would make me uncomfortable a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, like, I kind of walk that line, like.
Yeah, it's hard to support this on from a state or government
like
level
a political
type
standpoint.
thing.
You're like, this is terrible.
But as a parent, and knowing how games are played now versus how we played games even when we were 16 years old, it's changed so much, because I would, here's like my selfish bias is like, I'd haul my TV and my Xbox over to Siebel's house, right? And we'd hook up we'd play Halo until, we'd play Halo for like 6 hours until 3 or 4 in the morning before we all finally
parties,
crashed.
baby.
And you couldn't do that with this, and even with some sort of time, just only let's say you don't have like from this time to this time, but rather like just that allotted. You've got 2
You've got-
hours or
you've
whatever.
got 3 hours on the
3
weekend.
hours.
Yeah.
Like that even really pushes those boundaries. I get from like a societal like the health of a society kind of at some point maybe you do have to step in, but I don't know if China's actually at that point. This will never happen in the U.S.
No.
I mean,
It's too big a market.
it's
here.
too big of a but no, I'm also kind of so I read that line as well where I'm not like I don't hate it. I also don't love that it's the government.
Right. That's making that call.
This is parents. If you take note, all the parents who are listening here.
Yeah. All one of you. 2 of you. 3 of you.
Maybe. These are not bad concepts to adapt, or future parents also.
Yeah.
These are not bad concepts to apply to your household.
No, not at all.
And even as adults, I think you should probably like have some restraint and make sure you take time away from those kinds of things.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, I don't think as a government rule, I don't think it really is very nice.
Yeah.
I don't support it.
Politically, I couldn't support this.
In that way.
But I think they're coming from a fairly decent place.
Yeah. Well, so some of it has to like, I mean, we could get into a whole. Oh, thank goodness Luke's not here. I guess we could get into a whole political debate on, and not that Luke would have like a crazy different perspective than us,
Right.
but more that there'd be another opinion at the table. Therefore, this conversation would last 3 hours. But like things like mandated vaccinations, like those laws are put in place to improve society as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Things like seatbelt usage,
Right.
like there are laws out there that, like for the past, we didn't need that rule in the past. I didn't wear a seatbelt growing up. Cars didn't even have seatbelts growing up. That's old man Brett talking.
Yeah, you're like 50 at that point.
Yeah.
50, 60.
But, now we have, most states have motorcycle helmet laws, and those are meant to protect you. So
Right.
I agree with what you're saying that, like, it's not necessarily from a, like, the government is necessarily trying to control you, and more of a, like, let's just make sure our society is healthy.
Right, and they're seeing a growing problem.
Yeah.
Also, something that we should definitely state, and we should have stated this earlier, we are from the U.S., so, like, we are not 100% wholly aware of the political climate that this may have come from.
Sure.
I think that's important to note.
Absolutely.
Because we could have said
We
something
could
that
absolutely be missing something.
Yeah, we could be completely missing something, and we could be saying things that may be insensitive, and we don't know it.
We're just pulling our...
Yeah, we're just taking the general conversation.
CNN, BBC... I think
this is happening
They're
there.
fairly...
Yeah, they're credible.
Credible sources.
And so, I just want to make sure we clarify that. We're speaking on it from our perspective if that were to take place here.
Yep.
Where we land on that. But no, it's certainly a crazy thing. It'll be interesting. I'm really interested to see how this affects game sales.
Yeah.
There, because now, like, with this kind of time restraint, what does a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 look like over there? An 80-hour campaign. How long is that going to take you to beat?
Well, even Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, a 50-hour campaign.
Like, if I've only got 90 minutes, I don't want to spend it
walking,
doing half of a walking quest.
Absolutely. No, that's a fantastic point. Like, there are strange things that affects, and I wonder how that affects the market.
Yeah.
This improves the market for games like Call of Duty and, quick twitch games that you can play.
Probably even mobile games.
Yeah.
And
you capitalize on your time, and whatever games you can play where you can accomplish a lot in 90 minutes, those games are going to thrive there now.
Right.
Like you think about a 90-minute game, that's maybe 3 games of League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. People play that game for hours on end.
Uh,
It's hard to imagine having that. I don't want to call it a problem, but having that situation apply to us.
yeah.
Because like Friday, Saturday hits, if I can play games all night, I'm going to play games all night. If I don't have other things I need to do first.
If I don't have a bunch of movies I want to go see.
Yes, that too.
I've transitioned from like the gaming all the time to I can game almost anytime. Not like anytime during the day. I got work.
Right.
But like that, like I get home, I get my other stuff done, and I've got a couple hours I can game. But movies are hard to get to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
I
sleep
gotta
at
prioritize
night.
those. What is sleep? I have forgotten about this thing.
I
that
sleep
you
at night.
mentioned.
I go to bed early, so I don't play games pretty much Monday through Wednesday.
See, this
Thursday.
rule wouldn't even affect you.
Yeah. I play Friday and Saturday most of the time.
Then it would affect you.
Yeah.
But not really because you're not a minor.
Also true. Yeah, that's also important to note. We're not children.
We're not. Well, we.
No, well, we are,
we
but
are.
we're not legally defined as children.
Luke's not here, so we can't classify ourselves as children.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let us know what you guys think of
Yeah.
the story. Hit us up on Twitter or in the chat.
And if we said something stupid, call us out on it.
Yeah, correct us. I'm wrong a lot.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
And I'm okay with being wrong sometimes.
I'd rather you call me out so I can be more intelligent and know more.
Moving
not my
forward.
intelligence level, just that like I'm more aware of.
You're more versed on the subject.
Yeah, exactly. We only had one fan box question,
Uh-oh.
and it's from our friend Luke.
Luke!
Luke, thank you. Thank you for the fan box question. Luke says, I keep forgetting that Men in Black International came out this year. What movie did you see this year and completely forget about?
That's a fantastic question. Because I forgot about it. Let me look at
That's the thing, right? Like, if it's
2019 movies.
the answer is probably one you can't think of by nature of his question.
Yeah, I know. That's the hard part on this.
There's a couple. They're the ones that are at the bottom of my list, and I think I've forgotten them less because they weren't memorable, and more because I just disliked them so much I tried to erase them from my mind. And that is Lion King. Like, I saw that the Blu-ray or something was physical release was happening or something
Yeah,
like
it
that.
came
And I
out
was
this
like, oh
last
yeah,
week.
that's right. That movie came out this year.
Yeah.
How unfortunate. It made $1 billion. And then Hobbs and Shaw is the other one that I'm like, that's even more recent. And I've just tried to erase it from my head.
Mine are both from the beginning of the year. I think one's in January, and that's Glass.
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting that came out this year. For whatever reason, I feel like that was like a September,
kinda feel like a
September
while
movie
ago.
last year.
Yeah.
But no, it was a January movie this year, and it was a January movie. And then the other one, and I don't know why, but Captain Marvel.
Ah, that's right.
That came out this year. And I like totally keep spacing that I saw that movie this
That's
year.
maybe even a better answer than my two.
Yeah, like
It's coming.
it came and went. Like,
Came and went.
all right, yep, cool, moving on.
That's right. Oh
Yep.
my word.
Because Endgame came out.
Ooh,
this
yeah.
summer.
That's the challenge when you're the predecessor to
A movie that big.
a movie that big. It's
Especially
like,
when you're the predecessor and you're really not that great.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's
then
not.
you
It
guys-
wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
But it wasn't great either.
It's in the middle of my list ish.
Yeah, it's an all right kind of movie.
But then even you had Spider-Man come after in the summer, and it was really
It
good.
was very good.
Oh, that's a good question, Luke.
That is a fantastic question. And I'm curious, like, people who are listening or in the chat, what's a movie you saw this year that you kind of forgot came out this year? Do you agree with Brett and I?
Most
And Luke,
people won't agree with me. People love the Lion King for whatever reason.
Hunter keeps telling me I would hate it, so I shouldn't buy it. And I'm like, okay. He's like, you would not like that movie. And I'm like, okay. And then I watched the Honest trailer for it, and I was like, yeah, I would have hated this movie. This movie would have drove me insane if I
did.
saw it.
It drove me insane in the theater. I was like,
The more I see of it, the more I'm
if
glad
you
I
want to
didn't
hear
miss
my
it.
real thoughts about Lion King, you can go back and watch our review.
Yeah, you
find
kind
that
of
episode.
you kind of ripped it there for a while.
I still don't know if I ripped it quite as hard as Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, it was close though. Well, no, you hated Hobbs and Shaw.
I hated Hobbs and Shaw for different reasons.
At least
I think I hated Lion King more just because of the fact that it was such a freaking carbon copy.
Yeah.
That was worse.
My favorite honest trailer thing, and Luke mentioned it in our episode, was they have a really hard time knowing night from day. And that made me laugh a lot.
I think they have like one night shot in that movie. And it's not whenever they're singing about night time.
Yeah. That's crazy to me.
It's essentially when you have a completely CGI movie like that, you can just be like, it's golden hour all the time.
Right.
It's like golden hour lasts 10 minutes, guys.
Yeah, I did not see that one. Still have not seen that one. Probably won't see that one for a while. If it's on Disney,
stumble across it
if
on
it's on Disney Plus,
and
I
just
might
be
watch
like,
it.
why the heck not?
Yeah, I should. I'll watch that Lady and the Tramp movie instead.
I'd rather watch Lady. I'd absolutely rather watch Lady and the Tramp than. Although who knows, that could be just a complete.
What if that movie's awesome? We'll get a Rotten Tomato score tomorrow.
Good for them if
Yeah.
it's awesome. They need some good like direct to Disney Plus awesome content.
Yeah,
I mean they've got their series, but I think having some movies on there
yeah.
would be good too.
I agree. We'll be able to talk about that this weekend.
Well, yeah. Yeah, so next week's going to be a little interesting. We still haven't completely figured out what we'll be doing for this show. We'll be at Air Capital Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And we have a panel. We're on the stage for an hour.
Yep.
They're giving us an hour on stage with microphones. It's going to be dangerous.
I may or may not wear clothes.
Heck yes. But because of that, we're gonna do essentially a truncated show for that hour. What will probably happen is that will just be next week's episode. However, maybe some huge news drops, or we're like, we've got to talk about Disney Plus, and we might just do a little like, here's a 30-minute add-on to the beginning, and then we'll just run that second part as the show. Something will be up on YouTube at 8 p.m. on Monday next week.
Yep.
So
I'm so excited.
Whether it's live or not, it's fine.
I'm so excited to see live from Air Capcon in front of one of our episode titles. That's going to be so cool.
This is going to be a lot of fun. If you're in the Wichita area, we'd love for you to come join us. Admission's like $10.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
Century 2, 10 a.m. to 6 on Saturday.
Yep, and we are the 11 a.m. panel Saturday morning in the big hall.
So that's when you want to be there.
Yeah, you want to be there at 11 so you can make fun of us and ask us stupid questions.
We're going to make sure we have like at least a couple minutes for questions.
Yeah. For all three people that are in there for our panel.
It's all good. If not, if you can't make it, just check out next week's show.
Yeah.
So, until next week's show,
we will see ya.
adios.